there. He's my father too. And I asked for food because I'm damn near, I feel like I'm finna die.
Yes.
Now. And I say to you, my nigga, give me your birthright and I'll give you some food. Woo! Yeah. What kind of brother? Now listen, because see, the Bible is a little bit more trickier than that. Because guess what happens later? And it shows you that karma is, and you reap what you sow is the basic law of that book, man. And you're going to see it play out everywhere. Watch this. After Esau had his birthright stole by his brother Esau, even though they say he was hated by God. Don't even know why God hated Esau. But peep this. I wouldn't understand why they would say it, because Jacob felt guilty that he stole his brother's birthright. But what happened to Jacob and what happened to Esau after that happened? Reaping what you sow wise. That law is stronger than God or anything in that book. What happened was, later on, Jacob was starving and was about to die. Who saved Jacob?
Yes.
That he was hated by God. But who saved Jacob after he did that? Tyler Perry. That's a fucking Tyler Perry movie if I ever heard it. like Tyler Perry wrote that story of Jacob and Esau. Who the fuck? How you gonna write this story that this man steals his brother's birthright because he was hungry? You tell, give me your birthright. And I had Hebrew Israelites say, well, he didn't really do it like that. What he did was, no, nigga, he stole his brother's birthright and then tricked his father. That was only one part of the trick.
Yes.
You can go to the part of the hairy arm tricking his father on his deathbed.
Putting
what kind of man would trick a blind man?
I know, he was losing his sight, and his mother Rebecca said, "Look, come, put this something on, put this garment on."
Bible, hey, bro, the Bible is a moral test code written by an ingenious individual in order to trap man who is not ready to evolve to the next level. If you're not capable of going through that thing and going through these books, that's why nowadays people have decided to leave them alone, because they've seen what the Bible has done. The Bible have made many a corrupt man, because it don't stop there. You can go to Joseph, how all of them hated Joseph and was jealous of Joseph and Judah. Judah, the ringleader that everybody up from the tribe of Judah. You from a tribe of no good niggas, because Judah and all the rest of them boys gathered together and sold the good son, Joseph.
Yeah.
Not just the son, the one that was nice to them and was like loving to them. Joseph did whatever he could, just like Cain and Abel. Joseph did whatever he could to like really kiss their butt, man.
Since you mentioned Cain and Abel, break that down then, because it's from what I see in that respect.
Yeah. His name was Abel. His name was Abel, which was Heb-El. That means Abel, pride of El. That's what Abel meant. Pride of God, pride of El. So the whole idea about Abel was a very prideful individual. And a lot of times you got to realize, when God decided to when God decided to spare Cain from murder or death, it's because Cain was Satan's son. Cain was Satan's son. Abel was Eve or Adam and Eve's son.
So we're talking about this. You're talking about the serpent seed. I will put enmity between thy and
Cain was the serpent seed that that lived. For a moment, Adam had two wives. It was Adam and Eve and Lilith. And they and Lilith. A lot of times they write the story that Lilith came first. Lilith did come first, but Lilith was later on joined by Eve, and or later on Lilith joined Adam and Eve. You know, there's two different Actually, there's several different stories the way it go, but here's the basic concept. Adam had two wives. He had Eve and Lilith, and both of them were pregnant at the same time. When Eve gave birth to Abel, but first Lilith gave birth to Cain. But as soon as Lilith gave birth to Cain, she abandoned him and left Adam and ran off into the wilderness and left them, Eve and Adam, to raise the child. So they raised the child together with their child, Abel. Now, Abel was a spoiled little shit, and he got everything he wanted. This was bigger than a sacrifice to God. He was a prideful little child, and there are some books that talk about how rude and disrespectful Abel was to Cain. So when Cain became possessed, because I don't want to go too deep into the story, but it talked about how God warned Cain that he would become possessed by spirits, and he warned them, be careful. Well, there were actually spirits that wanted to destroy God, and they jumped on Cain and they killed Abel on purpose. And so Abel died, but it was by the hands of Cain, but Cain was possessed at the time.
Okay. So, yeah. So then Cain was then sent away from the Garden of Eden and went to the land of Nod, where he got himself a wife. So
yes.
I've spoken
Which means there were other people.
Exactly. So, like, for instance, Israel Doctrine, I had a conversation with the Israel Doctrine, and we had this conversation. And I said, so what's your thoughts in regards to where did Cain's wife come from? And straight away he said, Adam and Eve had more than Cain and Abel. They had loads of children. So that's his answer to it. My answer to it is Genesis. Let us make men in our own image, in our likeness. And then on the sixth day, God said, let me make man in my own image, and let me bring him from the dust of the ground and blow into his right nostril the ruach, the breath of life. So to me, I'm reading, and as it says, a day to the Most High is 1,000 years to us. So I'm reading in the 6,000th year to man, or in the sixth day of God's time, he created us, Adam and Eve, from the rib, right? Prior to that, thousands of years before that, the Elohim, pluralized, the angels made another form of man, which was on that plane of existence. Hence, Cain was able to go to the land of Nod, and which is already established city with people there, and got himself a wife.
True. Although you got the like you said, the Epic of Gilgamesh, and also the Enuma Elish,
yes,
where they talk about the Anunnaki and Enki and
Enlil.
Yeah, and how they went back and forth. But see, the story is still the same. The story is Satan asked God not to make a man after his image, after his likeness, and he did anyway. And that man that Satan told him that was going to cause destruction literally made God repent in the book of Genesis, and sent a flood to do it. Satan already told you. You know what's really so tripped, though? You got to understand that the Bible said that God created Satan perfect.
Yes.
Without flaw.
Yeah.
He said, I created you perfect. Now understand this. God created him perfect for a reason, because he knew that Satan was never going to corrupt justice and what was right and what was wrong. He was like the prosecuting attorney. He was the great accuser. He was created.
Adversary. Adversary.
Adversary and accuser.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. You got two different definitions of Satan being the adversary and the accuser, which if you look up the definition, they're the same thing. They're just, the accuser is more along the identity of him being a prosecuting angel. So his mission was to keep order. He was created to be God's right-hand man. So God, we look at the nature of God. God could make mistakes. God could anger. God could repent. God could do all of these things. So imagine how much, you know how you got your right-hand man who knows his shit, who holds everything together? That's what Satan did until he went against who? A nigga that's easy to anger. You go against God, he's easy to anger. You know he's going to flip. He flipped on Satan. And everybody took it as, oh, Satan was wrong. Satan was not wrong. God had to repent and get rid of the very man that he created. So don't nobody use this. See, this is a measurement of cognitive dissonance. And that's what the Bible was designed to do. It is designed to shut down synopsis if you believe in the wrong thing and awaken synopsis if you disbelieve. The more you, in other words, the more you question the Bible, the more you awaken. The more you believe in the Bible, the more you go to sleep.
Thank you. But at the same time, those ones who aren't questioning and are being led very blindly, there are some who are living fruitful and happy lives.
With the Bible or with Christianity?
With Christianity in the various guises, which is, I mean, ultimately, if it's working for them and they're happy and they're not being abused and all that and being taken advantage of too much, because obviously that whole system is about leveraging spiritual wealth from people and financial wealth from people.
Well, let me ask you something. Where is it, in what continent, that God has not set up a system that if you follow him, you won't receive wealth? Every place, Christian places, follow Christianity, you're going to be more prosperous. Muslim places, follow Islam, you're going to be more prosperous. Hindu, Buddhism, I go to India, I'm a Hindu, I'm a Sikh, whatever those things is, the land is designed to prosper those who believe in God. And that's really a jacked up system because it gives you a false sense of identity and a false sense of security that doesn't really exist. These are the same people that believe they're going to heaven or hell. These are the same people who are losing their children to homosexuals and pedophiles. These are the same people who are losing their wives to fan-only pages and side dudes and shit. So they're not, no, you might get one image of one family or a couple families that, oh, they prospering, but not really. That's not true prosperity, my brother.
From the outside, yes.
Yes, that's, and we're trying to live right in the, hey, man, and we're going through it. Hey, every family gonna go through it, but come on, man, you're not supposed to go through it. You got money, and it has "In God We Trust" on it.
I know, come on.
They got "In God We Trust" on money. More prostitution and drug deals and shit. What?
Yes, sibling. Yeah, I promise to pay the bearer the sum of promissory notes, Federal Reserve notes. This shit, it's just, it's an interesting matrix. It's an interesting matrix. A matrix, obviously, most people will think straight away Matrix, Keanu Reeves, Sophia Stewart, the writer.
Yes.
But let's look at it in another sense. Where does it come from? This is a Greek term. It's a womb. The matrix is a womb.
Yes.
What kind of womb have these entities who have inhabited certain beings in positions of power to create this matrix effect on us, where, as you say, you've got women who are just showing her thing on OnlyFans and they think that is all okay. And society is saying, well, you're empowered. You go, girl. You're empowered, man, you know.
Now, you know, those are the children of God that, okay, I'm so happy you brought that up, because what you're talking about, especially with the womb is a portal. So the thing is, when you dial that portal up or down in frequency based on the lifestyle of the female and the lifestyle of the male, which is the phallus or the key that opens that portal. So what happens is, when you got God's children, now listen to, now this is so pungent, God's children are the ones who are pushing homosexuality, pushing the fans only, pushing these low frequencies, because they want to multiply in numbers. So what happens is, when sex is had, the portal is open. Guess what comes through the gate? Guess what comes through the matrix? Another goddamn sleeping member who wants to stay asleep. Nobody who wants to take the red pill and wake up. They want to keep taking that blue pill and stay asleep. That's why they come out of the fans only era. They're coming out of the fans only. They're coming out of the homosexuality. They're coming out of where right now there are so many brothers that are into things that are just homosexuality, but they're saying, no, brother, you just not comfortable with your own sexuality. It's okay for a woman to shove beads up a man's behind. It's just a sexual, stimulation. But what they don't understand is, that's what the Sphinx, excuse me real quick. Okay, that's what the Sphinx or the Sphinxter was about.
Oh,
the concept of the Sphinx or the Sphinxter is an ancient tradition where men would be stimulated to a higher level of spirituality through their anal. Even young Pharaoh and Polite was teaching this shit to our children, man. And what's the one that's in jail right now? Natural Tahuti was teaching this, that if you stimulate a man's anus, he'll have a higher spiritual concept. So what I'm saying is, all of these sexual frequencies and these sexual demonations, because that's all they do is they release demons on a man, and he don't even know that he's harvesting demons. He don't even know that he's dangerous for his woman. He's dangerous for his children. He's dangerous to anybody. So until we get rid of the ultimate plague, which is my mission, my brother, is to get rid of the ultimate plague called God. That's why I am today HaSatan. I am HaSatan because my mission, I was born, reincarnated to finish the job that I did not do the last time I was here. And that is, I must destroy all gods, because they've came to do nothing but cause destruction on my plane and on the plane of the Nagas and the original people, the Canaanites of earth. This plane belongs to them. The gods came here to mine gold. They got mercury poison, and when they got mercury poison, the gods went crazy. In the ancient book of the Dead Sea Scrolls, it says, between the sons of light and the sons of darkness, there was a battle. That was the sons of light that came from the heavens and the sons of darkness that came from the soils of earth. We battled one another, and they enslaved us for a short time, but we eventually overcame them, and they could not make us mine gold no more for them. And plus they even went more insane.
This is going into the realms of the Zechariah Sitchin.
Well, you know what? Not only the Zechariah Sitchin, but the whole story of the Epic of Gilgamesh. And the Enuma Elish in general, the whole story of Enki and Anil. These stories, all of these stories collaborate, saying that somebody came from a different place, tried to mine a certain ore, and got infected by it. They got infected by mercury. Well, when the gods went crazy, they tried to enslave us. It didn't work. They decided we will make man in our own image, after our own likeness. At that
and
point.
that ties in perfect with the mad Atta sibling. Give us those jewels, man.
Oh, you know what? And this, it is so powerful, sibling, that you bring up the Mad Hatter, because long ago, for the thousands of years, they've known that makeup and wigs, which use high levels of mercury, drive individuals insane. Do you know how many pharaohs sat on their thrones with mercury-laden makeup all over their face and mercury-laden wigs on their head? They didn't have locks. Some of them were white, some of them were Arab, but they all tried to look like the original inhabitants of that land. They were insane, especially in the fourth dynasty and all them dynasties that came after Alexander the Great. All right, when they started sitting on them thrones. Well, mercury poisoning today is one of the main things that are destroying us. And see, I'm gonna tell you, it's this simple. Our women, you want to know what's wrong with our women? It's in the wigs.
Yes.
It's in the mercury, in the hair, in the glue. We will not save our women if we, and I started, and listen, I've been doing research, and I'm so happy you brought this up. I've been doing research, and I think me and you had this conversation before. The women in the UK, in England, and the other places were not wearing weaves, not heavy. They had their natural hair, and that was a thing over there. Natural hair was a thing over there when weaves have been over here now heavy, like we started probably since the late 80s, early 90s.
Yes.
All right. So the mercury poison has really set in bad over here. But we didn't know, so we didn't stop it. As a matter of fact, I don't want to get too deep in this because this is going to be a show in by itself on how they're using biological warfare in the wigs and in the makeup, using mercury to drive our women crazy. We got to stop it. And I saw it coming, and now I'm seeing the same feminist talking points in the UK, in England, that I went, and I was like, those women over there are sweet. Those women in the UK, man, me and the genie, we wanted to find another, because we're very prosperous now, bless us. And, financially, we've moved up to different places, and we want to find a holy woman to join our union. So we was thinking about going to the UK because the plague is so bad over here that we just said we'll go to the UK. And then I was looking at some videos in the UK, and I was like, too late, man.
You're too late.
You brothers, oh, man.
Couple years too late, sibling. I mean, the infection, as you dubbed it many, many, many years ago, has made its way across the pond, as y'all say. It's living well. It's thriving here now.
It's sad, though, man. It was sad because y'all had, wow.
You got schoolgirls, 12, 13-year-olds going to school with lace front weaves, with the contouring, the makeup, everything, just to go to school.
Wow. Tearing their skin up. As soon as you take all that shit, after so many years, they look like monsters. They look like zombies when they take all that shit off. They literally look like zombies. And, I feel sorry for y'all, man, because y'all had a beautiful thing over there, bro. I ain't gonna lie, like in the early 90s, early 2000s, I was looking at y'all and I admired the UK. Beautiful over there, man. As far as y'all sisterhood and y'all sense of brotherhood over there, it was not lost. It was like in the 70s still.
Yes.
And I loved it.
This is what they do. They export the negative elements are the siblings in the wilderness of North America, and they just export
Yes.
it across the world. And
they're infecting the world with it.
This is it. I mean, Seer the Duketeers came up with this phrase, I don't know, maybe in '09, maybe even earlier than this, but he spoke of the niggerization of white people. And what do we see today? What do we see?
Wiggers.
Wiggers. We got
Everywhere.
Chinese people want to be, they're perming their hair. You got Asian boys or they don't even talk their own language, Urdu, Punjabi, and on. They're talking all patois, Caribbean talk, and all this kind of thing. And it's like, what?
That's the curse of the magical Negro. When you take a genie out of the bottle, or you take a gin out of his lamp and rub it, you can make everybody follow the gin. Make everybody follow the G. Black women in America and in the UK and in other parts of the world don't even know that they're genies. Black men all over the UK, America, a lot of them don't know. Let's just say there's no more than like 20% of gins and genies where you're at and where I'm at. About 20% based on our population.
Mm-hmm.
But it's us. Once we do it, just like say Michael Jackson was a gin.
Yeah.
Once we do it, the world cries and worships.
Mm-hmm.
It's because, but see, Michael Jackson was a gin and somebody else on that lamp. You dig what I'm saying?
Yes.
So they know who we are and they know how to manipulate and, like you say, use us throughout the world. It's just we don't know our power. But if you can look at the example that you just gave, it is no doubt the people in the UK and the people in America influence the world. That's a fact.
It's a fact. It is a fact. That's why that these corporate organizations, companies, they're so interested in what's going on in the quote unquote minority neighborhoods. Who can we get next? Look, who's the next little gangbanger we can pull up and we can manicure, put an insurance policy on him, give him a 360 deal. So the only way this guy can make any money is actually by doing touring or selling any merchandise. And even with the 360 deal, they're still going to get some money out of that there. And then when he does his, we don't want you to talk, we don't want a love song. We don't want LL Cool J, I Need Love. We don't want that.
Exactly.
We want you in a video with a SKS, you're bridging in the back with an AR-15.
We're ready to shoot them down.
Yeah, man, we want that stuff. And then we don't uplift your women. Talk about them being whores and bitches, cum buckets, and all the rest of that stuff. Just degrade them, right? And then when you die, we're going to eat because your catalog, your albums, and all your music is going to be re-released because you're dead. Yeah,
tearing down generations to come.
This is the thing. And the artists, they're not seeing the picture. Look how many artists have died in the last 2 years. Let's say 2 years. We're talking double figures. We're talking probably 50 plus rappers. I'm not even in this. I don't even know half these people. The most prominent one of late was that Takeoff geezer.
Yeah. And it's multiplying.
And he got shot by his own friend, it seems, by his own team.
That's the way it's coming out. That's what they're saying, that he was sitting over there and he just, bam, leaning up against the wall and his homeboy shooting at somebody else over a dice game, shot the ball. But see, here's the thing. One of the problems that I have about living in America, sibling, is the very thing that I like about it. I have a problem with this, but I like this about it. It is the most demanding place where I guarantee you, if I showed you just 2 pieces of the armory that I keep on me and keep in my house, I keep shit in my house, man. But there's a feeling from having to live like this that, man, I swear when you get to a better place, you can relax. And that's one of the things that I want to provide for my family. I'm not relaxed where you just, you always got to be ready.
Of course.
I still would rather provide my people, my family, with a more relaxed environment. And that's one of the reasons why I am now headed to Africa. I love being an indigenous brother, but I want to apologize on your show to Africa and let Africa know that I greatly apologize for hating, turning my back on, and resenting you. I felt as if though the white man had got into my psyche about hating you and how much y'all was talking shit about us when y'all came over here because he told y'all to do the same thing to us. I fell for the okie doke. I am indigenous to the earth. I can go anywhere. I'm not just indigenous to America. And when we get typecast like that, that's how you trap a genie in a bottle. That's how you trap a jinn in a lamp. This person is indigenous. He can go anywhere, but get him typecast to stay only in the UK or only, somewhere else.
Every square inch of this plane of existence, there is the original man and the original woman. So, as you say, we do get hung up on the generational. Okay, well, yes. 10 generations of my family have been here, blah, blah, blah. But then we start to do the knowledge and we say, oh, well, cousin so-and-so, he lives in Canada or he lives in Australia. Bro, I didn't even know that. We got black folk over there outside of the quote-unquote abos, as the Australians derogatively call Aboriginal people. Yeah, so as I say, we're there everywhere. Everywhere the European man went, he saw someone who had melanin in their skin and had curly hair and quote-unquote big noses. And they said, oh my God, they're everywhere. So then they did their job with the maps, making continents smaller than they are and making other continents bigger than they are. And said, let's put little lines here. Let's create division. Let's install our leaders in. Let's give him a taste of white women, and let's give him tobacco. Let's give him alcohol. Let's even go to the New World and quote unquote give them blankets with smallpox on there. Wow. And then let's later on in the 19th century, let's do a 20+ year study on syphilis on black men.
Wow. Not to mention their women are giving our men herpes too. They did that. They did that when the war kicked off. A lot of brothers started sleeping with white women while these white men were going off to war because these white women couldn't keep their legs closed. Herpes, not only syphilis, herpes ran through our communities. But the reason why they started doing research on it is because our people wasn't responding to herpes the way their people respond to herpes. Our people wasn't responding to syphilis or herpes like their people did. So they was like, wait a minute, this man ain't about to die from herpes? No, it's just a cold sore for him, sir. Oh shit, we gotta do some research because you got Billy Bob, his dick about to fall off. Herpes is so bad, so that's why they started doing those research and those experiments, because they figured out that disease and chemicals our bodies would not respond in the same way. They became aware when that war kicked off and we started sleeping with their women.
Yes. And then they got Henrietta Lacks, her immortal genes.
Wow, yes, they do.
The HeLa cell, which surprisingly, you get 10 black people in a room and you mention the name Henrietta Lacks, and I would imagine maybe 2 of them will know who Henrietta Lacks is, and maybe 1 of them will have the actual knowledge. Oh yeah, the HeLa cell and all of modern day medicine is birthed from them being able to test thoroughly, quote unquote, and create drugs based upon the HeLa cell that is immortal and doesn't die, sibling, as we already don't know.
Truth.
She was one of the, I'm sure, if we do the knowledge, and someone can correct me in the comments, she was sent up to space. She was like the first human cell to be actually sent up in space. Forget the monkeys that were being sent up and all that. They sent the HeLa cell to space, quote unquote. I mean, some people don't even believe, we can get through the firmament on this plane of existence. So,
Well, okay. Well, based on what they're saying, and this is what a lot of astronauts are saying, I keep hearing them saying for the first time,
yeah,
we found a way to get through the
yes,
radiation of the Van
yes.
Allen belt. And I'm like, wait a minute, what year is this? You saying it's 2022, and you're saying for the first time, you figured out how to get through the Van Allen radiation belt without dying. How's that the first time? Oh, we gonna forget about 1969 when you supposedly went to the moon? Oh, that was Stanley Kubrick's movie.
Yes.
I got you. I got you. Oh yeah.
The shadows don't lie, man. The space dust
Exactly.
don't lie. These little flimsy flipping aluminium little somethings, they don't. All right, sibling, we've been building for quite some time now, and I know your time is precious and all that there. So before we wrap this here part one up, let's touch a little bit on the epic piece of literary work that you've
Yes.
diligently, and I've had like what, version 5? I we were, you know what I mean?
I forgot you got damn near every version, man. From version 1 yeah. You know what, bro? I forgot all about it. I used to send you copies through the
Yes.
Yahoo box mail or something.
Indeed. Yes,
I remember those days, boy. Hey, well, my book is the Holy Bible of Canaan. And this book is a 546-page book of knowledge that I have became aware of, and I've also compiled. See, everything is not about you doing it yourself. Everything is not about you getting it from other sources. It's a collective work. And this book also is written in a pictograph format because there are images that gives you more knowledge than some of the words in the book. Because we used to work with pictographs a long time ago. So it was written in the format with pictographs and very powerful, deep knowledge for this day and time to take you into the next understanding of the Bible and other books out there. Like I said, I love the Bible. I love the Quran. I love all of those books. They're doing a wonderful job of locking people in place where you can see them easily for their idiocies. But this book is designed to free you from those books. View this book, if you will, is kind of like when Moses put a serpent on a staff and he put it up and he said, those who wants to be healed got to be bit by this serpent after, I think in that story, they had just got bit by another serpent, but they had to be bit by the same serpent. And this is kind of like how venom works today. If you get bit by a very poisonous snake, they got to have that venom online and they got to reprocess it and then re-administer. That's what this is. This is venom being re-administered into your body to save you from the snake bites of religion. If in a nutshell, if I could say it that way.
Eloquently said, sibling. I will say this is not for beginners. This information, that book. If a beginner who's just stepping into this knowledge, by all means, wants to grab that there, I'm not saying you shouldn't, but it's, you need to be on a certain level to be able to understand, and understand the concepts which you're trying to put across on that there. But I'm telling you, I haven't even got through fully. I'm probably the 2/3 of the way through that book. I've skimmed it. I've done the quick read of it, the speed read of it, yeah. And then it's time to like fully digest that there. So this is still available.
I mean, even for, I would say it's interesting you bring that up, even for the novice. Mm-hmm. I think, and I was careful, to write it, not exceeding, as far as the writing format, over at 8th grade level. Some people
Oh,
say, no, that's
no.
on college.
Not siblings. No. You get me wrong. And I'll let you continue. But no, you're 100% right. The way it is written is very easily digestible and readable. But what I'm saying is, if they don't have the foundation, it's kind of hard to step off that into what you're trying to take them out of, kind of thing.
Maybe, but I don't know. I think the world is catching up, my brother.
Yes.
I think the world is catching up. And maybe, you got a good point, because I did find that in the beginning. Some people were like, man, that book too heavy, man. That book too heavy. They would get spooked by something they would read. And it would be so truthful. But once again, the cognitive dissonance of it. You know, when you're dealing with cognitive dissonance, you don't want to let go. You just don't want to let go. But that's a great point. Definite.
This is still available on Amazon and all that, right?
Absolutely. You can get it on Amazon. That's Holy. That's WHOLLY. WHOLLY. Holy Bible of Djinn. Holy. Complete. Yes.
Perfect. I'll make sure I put the links below in the description. I know you don't mess around with the socials, so I guess the YouTube is the best way for people to peep the scenery.
No. You know what? Hey, you know, sibling, wherever anyone. I mean, you can go to the Djinn Talk on YouTube. If not, you know, just see me where you see me. I got some big things headed my way. And you know what? Everybody's gonna see me regardless. And right now, I like the innocence of my circle. You know what I mean? So I don't look for individuals to magnify it to a following. Yes. I'm not looking for that. What I'm looking for is like-minded individuals, and pretty soon that's going to be difficult for me to be able to even experience. So I love these little these authentic moments, man. Like us chopping it up. These are authentic moments where I just feel like they mean so much more to me now. And then for us later, I'm gonna have to watch my back and watch my family and watch this. Because I got some things coming where I'm gonna have to be a little bit more, let's say, doing more so than teaching. I gotta be doing things. Things gotta be happening around me. You understand what I'm saying? The book is always gonna be there for those who wants to learn and you know, but no, you're gonna always be able to tell what kind of tree it is by the fruit that it bears.
1,000.
And if I, in my mission, am not getting rid of God, I gotta bear some fruit, so I got some things coming.
Give thanks.
Some very powerful things, but we're gonna talk about that another time.
Most definitely. Last 2 questions for you, sibling. Have you had fun on this here build?
I more than fun, sibling. I've been blessed with a basic conversation with me and you. Me and you chop it up like this all the time. But it's been an honor to be on your show, and thank you for having me.
Give thanks. Last one for you. Please tell us. I mean, you've gone into a lot of detail, and I'm pretty sure the comments are going to be all over the place. I'm going to get a whole heap of DMs. Please tell us who you are, sibling, but don't tell us your name.
I am he who was born. That came out of the spirit. I'm gonna get right back in that spirit. I am he who was born to awaken you. That's what my mission is. That's it. And to free you from the gods. And I'm going to do that. Yeah.
Yes. Uplift fallen humanity. I can't say nothing bad about that. If that's what the mission is, then that's what the mission is, man. Make sure you go over there onto the old Amazon on the link below. Order the book first of all, then check it out. Peep some of the reviews. Actually, saying that, sibling, I got to put a review of myself. I'll get that sorted soon. Comment, like, subscribe, share, tell a friend to jump on this train, man. We're making plenty of stops at each station. If you want a free self and drink from the cup of righteousness, we here, man. We here.
That's right.